Cecil Rhodes once said, "To be born an Englishman is to have won the first prize in the lottery of life." And that's exactly how I feel about being born in Sheffield. Simple as that. It's a wonderful place. People say, "What do you love most about Sheffield?" I say, it's full of Sheffielders. I was born on Sommerfeld Street, which went from Ecclesall Road up to Cemetery Road. And where the DVLA offices are now on Sommerfeld Street, in fact, I think they've just closed them, sadly. But where that office was at the top of Sommerfeld Street, that was where my house was. It was a little back-to-back house with outside toilet and News at World at back at door on a nail, cut into squares. And there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 families lived in the yard. I lived down entry in the yard, and there were 8 families lived in this yard. Wow. Well, from 86, I was still working more or less 7 nights a week.
In Sheffield?
No, all over country, doing cabaret and televisions, acting jobs. Donna used to come with me, see. She used to come with me and work as a lecturer. She was still well remembered then as Donna Hartley, the athlete. I mean, now you ask a kid who Donna Hartley, they've no idea. As I said, she was the great love of my life, and I never looked at another woman ever. I didn't need to.
No.
You know, I'd had hamburgers, I got some fillet steak now. I had a job when I was 12 in the Castle Market, humping 10 ton of taters every morning off what were called a Trowbridge wagon. And this big lorry used to come from Trowbridge with 10 ton of taters, and me and this other fella used to hump these taters into the stall. Then I'd get on my bike and I'd do my paper round, and then I'd go to school. I always had a few quid in my pocket. I didn't like asking my dad for money. And when I were in market, I started expanding, and then I started weightlifting. By the time I was about 15 and 16, I were a big lad. I've been all over the world, and I could never wait to get back to Sheffield. You know when you used to drive up M1 and see them 2 big bloody pillars that they blew up?
Towers.
Towers.
Yeah.
I knew I were home when I saw them. The last panto I did in Sheffield were about 5, 6 years ago, and I was getting less fit. There were a couple of days when we did 2 shows every day, Monday to Saturday, and I were on my way downhill to the station, and this particular day I'd done 3 shows, and I came down that hill and I felt like a zombie. I was mentally and physically shattered, and I thought, I think this might be my last panto. And it was always my biggest earner of the year. I only know, and I've only ever known, one way to do pantomime, and that is to start off at 100 mile an hour and get faster. Bang, 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 bang. Every time you go on, wallop. Hey up, kids. Hey up, nutty.